working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm pleased to be joined by midfielder Joe Hodge. We'll start with Louis Reynolds from BBC Radio Leeds.
Thank you. Hi, Joe. Good to see you again. We'll start with the break, then, with no game last weekend. Was it a welcome break?
I think so. We had a lot of games in the few weeks building up to it, so I think it's done us a lot of good to have a couple of weeks where we can do some hard training, where we can get the gaffer can get his message across, and we can really start to improve and see what differences he wants to make.
Yeah, what kind of things, what kind of improvements has John worked on you with then in that time?
We've done a lot, all areas of the game, just sort of telling us the way he wants us to play, the way he sees the game. So we've been working hard at trying to implement that, and hopefully we can go and do that on Saturday.
And in terms of the way he wants you to play, what does that look like?
I think, to be honest, it's exactly what it looked like last week. I think the intent was there, the attacking football, passing the ball forwards, running forwards. I think that was clear from minute one against Crawley, so hopefully we can show more of that with the last few games of the season here.
That attacking intent, that intensity, is that something you thrive under, Joe? Is that a game you like to be involved in?
I think so. I think most players do, to be honest. No one wants to be playing boring football or defensive football or anything like that. Everyone wants to be on the front foot, getting on the ball, making things happen. I think that sort of suits most of the players we've got on the squad, to be honest.
The flip side, when it comes to the break, could it have come at a bad time given how well you beat Crawley last time out and wanting to continue that momentum?
No, I don't think so. I think we had a lot of games. We hopefully have some more bodies back who we didn't have because of injury before the break. It would have been nice. It feels like a long time going 2 weeks without a game, especially when you've been playing Saturday, Tuesday for the few weeks building into it. But no, I don't think it's been a bad thing for anyone at all.
Do you think just in terms on your bodies and the fitness in the camp, it's a good thing?
Yeah, I think so. We got a lot of games coming up, so I think for everyone to reset, get everyone in the best condition, ready to go into to attack the last few weeks of the season.
It's the first time we've spoken to you since Michael Duff left the club as head coach. How do you reflect on your time playing under Michael?
Obviously, it was difficult, a lot of it, because I spent so long out injured. But look, I enjoyed working under him. I think we could have done better in certain games where we could have made the most out of it, and we could have performed better. But look, the way it went, it's just how it goes sometimes. No one wanted that to happen. But that's just part of football. Look, and hopefully we'll be able to put things right and end up where we want to be come the end of the season.
Yeah, you said it there. Your managerial, your head coach changes are part and parcel of football nowadays. As players, does the modern day player, is it just something you have to get on with?
I think so. No one achieves anything by sitting around and not reacting to it. We know we have to do better than what we've done for the first bit of the season, but we've got nine big games left where we've got a real opportunity, and we're in a good position to go and take advantage of it and put ourselves back in a good position.
And John's been there and done it in terms of being successful at Huddersfield Town. He had a spell in charge last season as well. Has he conveyed that message over to you as players that he knows what you're going through?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, he's been more focused on, the main thing he's focused on is the way we want to be playing, what he wants to see from us. He's not really talked about the bigger picture. It's all about us and the way we're going to set up to play on Saturday. But the boys I've spoken to, obviously I wasn't here last season, but the boys who have worked under him before in the past couple of years, they've all said good things. They say he's a great guy, and the way he coaches, is really good. The session's been really enjoyable, so I think we're well set for the run in now.
How do you reflect, and I appreciate there's 9 games to go, maybe plus more, how do you reflect on your own season with Huddersfield Town? I know you've had time out due to injury, but when you have been playing, how do you reflect on it?
To be honest, I think I've been playing well whenever I played. the injury was frustrating. I feel like I was playing well before it, and then afterwards it's taken me a little bit of time to get myself back in the team and to build on my performances as I'm building my fitness and my strength back up. But I think whenever I've been given the opportunity, I've done well and I've helped the team. I think the last weekend was probably my best performance, so looking to build on that and finish the season strong now.
Yeah, do you almost feel the final 9 games is still a lot to play for? Obviously, John coming into the role, it's almost like a reset for the final 9 games of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're only taking it one game at a time. We're just focused on Charlton on Saturday, but we know where we are on the table. We know what we need to do, where we need to end up. So yeah, we just need to keep our heads down now and go and do the business on a Saturday.
And it's going to be a tough game on Saturday. I know Charlton lost last time out, but they've been in a really good run of form, shot up into those playoff places. Just how aware are you of the challenge that they'll pose?
Yeah, we know we're a good side. They're a good side, but so we. We're going to have to play well on Saturday to win. But we saw last weekend, like anyone can beat anyone. So yeah, we're back ourselves. We're really good the last week, so we're trying to build on that, and hopefully we can take that into Saturday, put in a proper performance, and come back with 3 points.
And 2 teams with similar ambitions, similar stages and positions in the table. These must be the games as a player, especially in your position on loan at Huddersfield Town, looking to get more experience that you relish.
Yeah, absolutely. The big games. Biggest part of the season, every 3 points feels like it's worth more. But yeah, that's where you want to be as a footballer. It's an opportunity for you to go and showcase yourself, show how good you are, and that's where everyone wants to be. Everyone wants to be involved in big moments like that.
Best of luck for Saturday. Thanks for your time, Joe.
Thank you.
Cheers, Lou. We'll just come to Stephen Chicken from We Are Terriers.
Hi, Joe. Good to see you. I agree with you. Your last performance probably the best we've seen from you at the club. Do you feel like the new gaffer's sort of more high press, all action style will get the best out of you for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think so. It's the way I like to play, high intensity, getting on the ball, getting in people's faces, being aggressive. So I think if we're going to play like that, it sort of suits me, and hopefully gets the best out of me.
I presume that's sort of what you were taught at Man City was that kind of style of football.
Yeah, that, but not just that. Like, it's been a while since I've been at City, so I played the way I was playing in Wolves that way, and even last year on loan. So I think that sort of suits my game, my profile as a player. So yeah, it should suit me well.
Speaking of Wolves, obviously Tawanda has come to the club since we last spoke. He got a big goal for Zimbabwe last night against Nigeria. Do you feel like he could, we've seen sort of sparks of what he can do. Do you feel like he can make a contribution towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think he already is doing with his performances. I think everyone can see we're just waiting on the ball to drop to him or for just find the corner when he's having a shot or whatever. But he's impacting games. I'm sure there's goals and assists for him coming if he keeps performing the way he is whenever he's getting the chance. So hopefully he can add a few more goals and push us to where we need to be.
That's all from me. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, Steve. We'll just come to Leon Bobshaw from the Yorkshire Post last.
Hi, Joe. Hope you're well and you've had a good break. Working with John, I mean, I'm old enough to remember when he he played 20 years ago. It was really good midfielder. Have you been learning bits from him in terms of your own sort of game?
Yeah, he's been speaking to me, talking about the detail and the little parts of the game which we can improve. Not just me, but the other midfielders as well. So I think it's definitely something I can learn from and try and take into my performances.
You must have learned a bit from working with Hoggy as well at close quarters. He's the sort of professional that young lads like yourself can learn a lot from too.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the way he trains, the way he holds himself every single day is what the example really what we need to be. Yeah, definitely he's a great guy. And yeah. I think everyone can see that's the reason he's got to where he's got to in the games, because the way he holds himself, the way he works. I think if anyone works like that, they give themselves a chance.
Yeah, you must feel quite fortunate, because I mean your time at Wolves when you came through there, obviously a couple of stellar Portuguese midfielders there. They must have helped you along the way, and you're watching them in training every day and being alongside them. How have they sort of aided in your development?
Yeah, I think you just have to train with those boys to see the level. They're ridiculous at what they do. Wasn't even speaking to them so much, just seeing the way they works, and trying to better yourself just to be able to compete with them just drives your game to a different level. And it's probably working, training with those players, the reason I've ended up with a career. To be honest, the fact that I've been trying to learn from them and end up to the levels I can get to.
Was it just in where they sort of trained every day, their intensity, what they're like as professionals? And you must have just, as a young player, really observed that and took things from them.
Yeah, absolutely, and the quality and everything they have, but the way they work hard every day. And we said what we were saying about Hoggy before, exactly the same. Just people you can learn from, and hopefully I can end up like that at some point soon.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably a big decision when you came to Huddersfield, because you had a chance of being at Hibs, weren't you, as well? But you obviously opted to come to Huddersfield, and you had a good start, a bit difficult in the middle with a bit of an injury, and hoping to have a good end.
Yeah, I wanted to be here. I made it clear from the start of the window. I always wanted to come. The injury was frustrating. It was a bad one, but the physios were great and got me back as fast as we could. And I'm, to be honest, done well to even get back in the time frame that I did and stay fit since, touch wood. So be looking to look big 9 games. Let's see what we can do for the rest of the season. It's
probably a different sort of pressure. I know last year you went to QPR and you did well there, but they were sort of fighting near the bottom for a spell, and you got out of it. I suppose this is the pressure that you prefer as footballers.
Yeah, it's much more enjoyable where we are now, pushing to be up the top of the league than coming in the change room after every game last season, looking at the other teams that won, and thinking, we could be on our way down here. So this is far more enjoyable, and hopefully you can see it through and get the job done.
I'll just ask you finally, it was a bit of a mad move, wasn't it? Were you playing for Wolves on the bench one night, and then you went on deadline day and it was all happening, and then you played at Blackburn, wasn't it?
Last season, are you talking? Yeah, I was on the bench on, I think it was a Thursday night, travelled down there straight after, and then I played on the Saturday then for my first game.
Yeah, mad that. Best of luck for the rest of the season, Joe, and thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll be back shortly with interim head coach Jon Worthington.
Cheers, everyone.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day. shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm pleased to be joined by interim head coach Jon Worthington. We'll start again with Louis Reynolds from BBC Radio Leeds.
Hi, John. Nice to see you again. If we can start with team news, please. Have you been able to welcome anyone back given the break?
Yeah, I think the break's come at a good time for us, and we're hopeful for the weekend that there will be a few more additional bodies available. Still got a few more days of training to get through, so but the signs are positive. Can
you tell us who those bodies could be?
No, I think at the minute I'd prefer just to leave it to make sure they get through. I think it's unfair, until we've got through the next couple of days, really.
The break for you then, I guess, some might say, look, the way you beat Crawley, some might want it to keep that momentum going. But for you, coming back into this role, John, how valuable has that contact time been on the training pitch with the guys?
The contact time's been great. It's been a great opportunity for us to get more ideas across to the players. It always helps off the back of a win when you go into a period like this. So I think the mentality, the positivity of the players has been really good this week or over the last couple of weeks. But I think with anything now, we're raring to go. Really itching to get this game on Saturday and looking forward to it.
What have you managed to work on then?
I think it's everything in terms of just the principles, how I want the team to play with and without the ball. And also, to make sure we get some valuable work into players who aren't ultimately just returning to the group as well, and making sure those ideas come across to everybody who's joining the squad.
I guess as well, as you say, on the back of the win over Crawley, you've got a really good base and foundation there to almost say, also, as well as what we're working on, do more of this. Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's ultimately how I coach. I like to reinforce the ideas. We've got loads of footage and the guys from training on the games doing that now. So it's just continuing to that, and it's into the next game. Crawley's gone. We move on to it, prepare for Charlton, and we're looking to take each game step by step, and that's the focus now. And that high intensity, that attacking threat we saw against Crawley, is that something you want to carry in every single one of these last 9 games?
Absolutely. I think every game we go into, we want it to win. That's the mentality we'll be going at, and there'll be no different from the Crawley game to this Saturday.
Time obviously away from the pitch in terms of games. You mentioned the contact time with the players on the training field. Have you also had any further opportunities to chat with Kevin and those above you?
The chairman's obviously coming over today, and so I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunity in this period to catch up with the chairman and discuss things.
Just on a few of the faces who have been away on international duty, Brodie, Callum, Twander as well, getting on the score sheet. How closely in your role do you follow those players when they are away on international duty, and what have you made to their performances away from the club?
Yeah, I think we're in constant touch with the international teams and the staff to make sure that the players are getting everything that they need, and we're keeping a close eye on them. I think that the Irish boys will be back in this afternoon to catch up on some recovery, and obviously we'll sit down with them as well, and so they can join up with the rest of the squad leading into the weekend.
I know obviously it means they have extra recovery because they've played extra games, but just for those players who have gone off on international duty at their stages of the career as well, how valuable is that experience, John, for them?
I think it's massive, and I think the 3 boys we're talking about, all young players, and getting exposure at international football, especially the challenges and the game, obviously for Brodie and Callum playing against top quality opposition in Sweden the other night. I think that it's great experiences, great learning for them, and things that I'm really happy to see them get those opportunities.
I appreciate for another player, Jonathan Hogg, the 400th appearance came when Town played Wrexham a few weeks back. But I know you did a little presentation on the training pitch with Jonathan recently. When you're coming back into this role as you are, whether that be interim or further down the line, how valuable for you, John, is having someone like a Hoggy around the training pitch?
It's massively important. Hoggy is top-class professional, top-class guy as well. Is someone that I speak to, regularly around the training ground, constantly speaking to him, and because of his experience, whether he's starting, whether he's not starting, his influence in the dressing room, he drives the standards on the training pitches. And I can't speak highly enough of him as a footballer and a character.
And was that the same when you were last doing this role, or have you seen, even just in that short amount of time, the improvements from Hoggy on that side?
No, I think that's why he's had the career that he's had, because those are the things that he's been probably since day one he came in the building. I've seen that from over the last 10 years that I've kind of been in and around, down at the training ground. So I don't think anything's changed, and that's a testament to why he's had the career that he's had, really.
Another player I want to mention is Joe Taylor with his goal against Crawley. I know there was a lot of excitement when Joe came to the club in the transfer window. I know injuries delayed maybe his start to a run in the first team. But how big of a part can he play in this running over the last 9 games?
Yeah, I think he can play a big part. I think he's a talented player. I think we've seen that in snapshots. I think this period's been good for him as well to get more time on the grass. Get him even sharper, and I'm sure there's even more to come from him. I'm excited to see what he can do. And I'm really enjoying working with him.
Because I guess at times this season, goals and consistent goals have been a problem at times. If you can get Joe firing consistently, as we know we can, that could be massive.
Absolutely, and I said that after the Crawley game and before that game. I think ultimately, we've got some talented footballers. It's getting them in the right areas of the pitch where they can be, have the most impact, and that's what we're continuing to do and continue to work on. And like Joe and others, I'm sure they can have massive impact for us.
Have you been impressed with what you've seen then during this break?
Yeah, really, really impressed. The guys, not just Joe, all the guys' application, their attitude. There's a real enthusiasm and energy on the training pitches, which is how I like it, because then it transfers into the games as well.
Charlton at the weekend, they got on a really good roll, a lot of momentum behind them. I know they lost last time out, but just how much of a challenge will they pose your side at the weekend?
I've got nothing but respect for Charlton, and the run that they've been on, the form that they've got some good players. My focus will be around us and how we can kind of impact that game come Saturday. Is
it too early to look at this game? It could be a dress rehearsal for a potential playoff game come the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you can think about that, and for me, the sole focus is just this game on Saturday, and then we're on to the next one, and that has to be the mentality of myself, the staff, and the players. Not get carried away, not get too carried away from last week's result. It's just on to the next one, and focus in trying to get the result that we want.
I guess just lastly on that though, at the same time, we talk about momentum in football and that being key. With only 9 games to go, if you can get on that good run and whatever happens in May happens, that momentum into a potential playoff would be massive, couldn't it?
Absolutely, and you've seen, and we've all seen that over teams that have come through in the playoffs and over the years. So that'll be something that we are trying to do and trying to kind of hit the form at the right time and really kick on.
Best luck for the weekend. Nice to see you again. Thanks
Cheers.
for your time, John.
Thank you.
Cheers, Lou. We'll just come to Stephen Chicken from We Are Terriers.
Hi, John. How the lads who have been on internationals, have they all come back all right? No issues with any of that?
They're all good.
Fantastic. I mean, obviously, Tawanda played last night. I'm sure it'll be a long journey home for him, but he'll have a big smile on his face having got that last-minute equaliser. I mean, are you hoping that can give him a bit of confidence to get on the score sheet for you?
It should do. I think he's a confident player anyway, and the bits that I've seen in training and what I've worked with him in this short period, there's enough there in terms of for me to see that he can have a big impact in our running.
You talked before about wanting to sort of periodise the training and potentially looking at rotation. Has anyone sort of changed your mind about where they might fit in over this couple of weeks?
No, I think I'm pretty clear in terms of the squad and the players available. Yes, when we talk about rotation, I think it's just at times just to kind of freshen up, especially when the games come thick and fast on Saturday and Tuesday. But also, I don't think it's ever going to be wholesale change. I think we've got to keep the consistency, and I think those are the key things that we'll be looking to do.
And obviously, last game and last few games, the club have had to make changes. People coming off after an hour, people having limits on their minutes and things like that. Has this break helped potentially a few players to get out that, likes of Joe Taylor, Matty Pearson perhaps? I
think that's always the aim and the plan. I think ultimately it comes down to the game time as well. There'll always be certain restrictions on certain players as they come back, and we've got to make sure that every decision we make is not a reactive decision. It's the right decision for the next 9 games.
Obviously, from sort of now for the next month or so, you're going to have very little time on the training pitch with the players. It'll be lots of recovery days, I presume. You tell me, obviously, but does that make this 2 weeks you've just had particularly valuable to you?
I think it's valuable in terms of, one, getting ideas across and further kind of working with the players and getting some good solid weeks of training in. But also, I think it freshens the mind as well. The lads have, they had a couple of days off at the weekend, and it just kind of keeps them fresh, especially coming into a running where it is going to be pretty intense for this definitely April period.
That's all from me. Best of luck. Thank you.
Cheers, Steve. We'll just come to Leon Robshaw from the Yorkshire Post last.
Hi, John. I hope you well. You've obviously done a lot of work with the connections with the team and everything. Is getting the vibe in the team, getting to know the players intimately on a day-to-day level and bonding. That's all part of it as well, I suppose, these last few weeks, and probably rest as well, mental rest for what's coming. Yeah,
and I just touched on that. I think that's important. Yes, there's the physical work and things, but the mental side of it as well. And guys just having a little breather in this period in terms of from the rigorous games programme that's going to be coming up. But I think we're in a good place now. I think we're raring to go for this run. And I think collectively as a squad we're in a good place. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I remember when you were in the chair last time, you had a very difficult first away game, first up at Southampton, but you went there, you didn't park the bus, and you were proactive and tried to force your game onto them. I guess it'll be similar against Charlton as well. It's not just, obviously you've got to do your defending, but it's about imposing Huddersfield Town on the opposition, isn't it, even though they're a good side?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, respect the opposition, 100%, but it is about us and it's about how we can affect the game. And my mentality going into any football game, and especially in this league, is that we're going to win, and that's what the team will be set up to do.
The lads, you touched on them earlier, the lads who signed in January, I mean, they sort of came in and then 1 or 2 injuries, games. This time it'll have been helpful for them the last few weeks, won't it? The likes of Joe in their assimilation to the club and everything, and because it's not been easy for them, has it? It's never easy sometimes when you come into a club in the mid-season.
No, and I think, like I said, this week, and I think you just touched on it. I think getting that connection with the players and seeing them on in close quarters on a regular basis, without the distractions of the games and the focus. I think that's been just as important as anything else, really.
The games that you've got, I mean, you've got some tough, Charlton, Wickham, Stockport. They sort of will have playoff intensity, won't they? I mean, hopefully, when you do get into the playoffs, you'll be conditioned, won't you, as well, by the opponents that you're playing against. There's quite a bit riding on them.
But I think that's good. Those are the games that I'll really enjoy and really relish, and I'm sure the players do as well. So the games to look forward to. I think that the bigger the challenge, the better, really, for this group of players.
Well, this is your sort of second football career, and you're obviously ambitious with coaching and management. Who are the ones who, when you were a player, who you took things from and you learned from and you respected? I mean, you obviously draw on that as well in your sort of new job in football.
Yeah, I think in terms of, I think I've been fortunate to work with lots of different managers and different styles and different personalities, and I think ultimately, I'll always be authentic and myself, and have my own ideas and my own values about how I come across, and I'm always very true to myself. But I think you can always learn and take take inspirations and take bits from coaches you've worked with, and that's something that I've done throughout my career as a player and when I've been a coach and seen other managers.
Yeah, I know Michael. He was big on the door is always open. You'll always have a heart to heart and be honest with your players. They might not like what you say sometimes. Is your approach similar in that regard? I mean, you'll just be straight up, no grey areas. Absolutely. That was always me as a person. That's what I always wanted as a player. Just honesty, and then the decision is a decision. But as long as someone's been honest with you, you can take that information, and that's ultimately what I do with all the players. I speak to them on a regular basis and be really clear and open with them. And ultimately with football, it's about opinions. It might not always be what they want to hear, but you got to be true to yourself and be really clear with the players. I think that's been right and been fair. It's like that respect, isn't it? Really, they might not agree, but if they respect it, that's most pros will take that, won't they? Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Thank you. Cheers, John. All the best. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll speak to the majority
Cheers, everyone.
on Saturday.
Thank you.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.